Hey YouTubers, this is Monte's creation and I'm Monte. Monte means beautiful mountain. Monte is part of my last name. I wanted to show you guys something. I have to watch where I'm walking because it's black ice mixed in between the snow and this, that, and the other. But I'm going to tell you that we're adding a new part to my YouTube videos. It's going to be called Monte's Rant. All right. I am walking through the, I'd say, midsection of my property up here on this mountain. It's about 3,000 feet. The mountain's about 3,000 feet high, and I'm pretty much the second to the last one up here on this particular section of the mountain. Right now, I'm walking down the fire road, which is the road that's cut into this land. In case we had any fires up on this mountain, we'd have two ways of escaping off the mountain. It's probably been here, this fire road's been here, I would say, for probably, I don't know, 150 years. And that's where I'm headed. What I wanted to do was the rant is because of somebody gave me a call this morning and said, "Hey Mom, do you have electric yet?" I said, "Yeah, we did without electric for about 6 hours, which is not a big deal." During derecho a couple years ago, and the derecho was a storm called straight line winds came through and really did a number up here on the mountain. I was without electric for 2 weeks. I'm a pretty tough cookie. I know how to camp, all this kind of stuff. I have survivor skills. But at the end of the 2 weeks, I cried. That's over and done with, but you learn a lot about yourself and, you know, things that you wish you had. I called my girlfriend and she said, "Oh, I can do with everything else, but not having water to brush my teeth really bothers me." Well, I can relate. I'm going to walk this fire trail and I'm going to tell you about not having electric up here on this mountain and what we do. We survive, or some of us do, survive the best we can. I also told the person who called this morning, I said, "Look, I'm not a rich person. I can't go out and buy a generator. I'd like to have a Generac, which is attached to the house, but I do know that they're pretty expensive." I'm going to flip around now and I'm going to continue to let you know about my ramp because I want you to see where I'm at. I went down the fire road to the house next door, which is rumored to be one of the oldest houses up on, I'd say not Gun Mountain, the Tobacco Row Mountain. So I'm going to flip you around and I'm going to continue. Okay. So I'm walking up the side of their property. This property used to have a schoolhouse. As I told you in one of my other videos, the church was across the street. I think the rule back in old Virginia days was you had to have a church, or they wanted to have a church every mile or so everybody could go to church or go to meetings on whatever day they did it, Sunday or whatever, which was probably something that should be practiced to this day. Reason being is, and you have all your punks and hoodies and whatever you want to call them, that people give me problems because I call them punks, hoods at church, and your neighbors, and your preacher, and your cops, and all your powers that be are watching what's going on with these punks. Not only that, you also have to, they had to watch out for, whew, of course you can hear them climbing up, more up the mountain. People that are struggling. If you're struggling, you don't have food, you don't have shelter, you don't have all the things that normal people should have, the church could watch over them and make sure that everybody's okay. I'm stopping here now and enjoying the view. Literally, almost up on the top of this mountain. If you look across the street, I'm going to zoom in a little bit better. You can see the top, top of the mountain of Gun Mountain. One of the peaks, that's how high we are. You're seeing the Jefferson National Forest up here with the trees in the background. So we're up here. We're really up here. This is the house. The house has been done over just recent, since the years we've moved in. I'm going to flip the phone sideways. So you could say probably I'm breathing funny because of the altitude. I'm going to walk around this house. And show you. It has been added on too. You know, I can't say more about it. I'm going to say their American flag's hanging up. It's all twisted around the pole. But, you know, let's say God bless America. And God bless all the freedoms that we got for the people who went and gave their lives during the wars that have been fought. I guess my rant channel could go on and on because of my age, but I won't. I'm going to walk over to the creek. This is another spring-fed creek with the old farming equipment here. And this is how these people survived back in the day. Before electric, before food stamps, before free food, and you rotten thieves out there in your Cadillacs and your BMWs in the food line. There's people out there that really need food. And usually the people that are out there that really need food don't drive around in those type of vehicles. So you're telling me something, you're getting free food, probably scamming and running out and selling it after you get it, or whatever. You know, I'm all about people eating or whatever, but right is right and wrong is wrong. Take that food in your BMW and take a ride over to somebody's grandmom's house and say, look, nah, mom, no. Could you use a turkey? Here's a turkey. Wouldn't that be lovely? Wouldn't the world be lovely? That's why I hide behind my YouTube videos and try to keep everything Barbie. To live in a Barbie world. Wouldn't that be wonderful? I'm still on a mission to show you guys something. All right. Here's the reason why sometimes we don't have electric. Here's your power lines. All right, I don't know if you can see them, but the power lines, they don't run along the roads up here. They run through the mountains. Heavily wooded, heavily forested mountains. The mountains have bear. We have other critters that aren't so friendly, but the bear's kind of scary. If you can see, here is still the mountains that are surrounding us, God in all its glory. The only thing that's as beautiful as being up in these mountains is being down at the ocean. Making my way to the creek where you can see it a little bit better. You can hear me crunching through the snow, like one of my people that I follow on YouTube. She likes to crunch through leaves or crunch through snow. And I'm always on the lookout for cool stuff. There must have been some sort of little road here so they could get their equipment across the street. Okay, here we go. Here you go. When this stuff melts, there's a possibility, but we have had a little bit of a drought up here, that these creeks can rip and roar. They can move. They will move stuff. As you can see, at one time, it was coming down here and moving really good. Anyway, if you go up through this path and you go up past the power lines, you can find the cemetery up there, which there is a woman who's buried up there by the name of Katie Hicks. Katie Hicks is from the Hicks family, and that's an old family around here. That old family owned a lot of stuff, including Hicks store, which I'll show you in another video. But a logger came through, because somebody wanted to be greedy and bulldoze that cemetery. Anyway, we found out that the cemetery was bulldozed because my husband walks up there, called the police, and desecration of a grave or a burial site's a bad thing. Not only will you get in trouble with the law, but you're also going to get in trouble with the spirits. So I'm going to show you the front of this. And I don't want to mess with the doors or anything. I'm looking at some really huge deer print. And show you the other side of it. And then I'll let you guys know. I told you about the power lines, and I told you about not having power. Well, there's people up here that tell the electric company, we don't want you up on our property. We're not opening the gates. We're not coming out from our little cozy life to make sure that other people have heat, electric, food, whatever. Because that's what the world has made us like. Not me, because I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor of hard times, and I think about not having power, and I think about not having electric, and I, don't have to worry about having food, because thankfully I have a husband who makes sure that all that's covered. I'm really grateful for that. But I'm going to tell you guys, I'm grateful for this beautiful day. I'm grateful that I had this chance to rant. My neighbors are crawling out of their houses right now, probably wondering who's over here in the snow. Sometimes they'll wave, sometimes they won't. There you go, I got a beep from them. But that's how neighbors are up here in this country. Anyway, there's the house again. It's been added onto. I'm going to walk back around the side. As you can see, here's the power lines again. Because if you like listening to people crunch and walk in the snow, here's your video. But anyway, here it is, y'all. My rant for today. I think I wore myself out. But I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're being blessed. Please like and subscribe. You'll be able to find this video on Monte's rants, which is on my regular channel, Monte's Creations. Please like and subscribe. And maybe we can change the world back to where it was a better place. Bye.